Well, let's talk about Ariane, because obviously Ariane had something to keep this very married man, 4 kids with the wife, okay, for almost, we're talking about 7 years.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tasty Talks and Bull Crap Walks. I am here today to talk about the exclusive interview with Tasha K and Ariane Curry. Last night, Tasha K dropped her exclusive interview with Ariane Curry, and that video has over 200 and something thousand views. We're expecting that video to eventually have 1 million views as well. In this interview, it was surprising to a lot of people that Tasha K gave Ariane a lot of props in this video and a lot of respect. There were people that were in the comments of Tasha K's video that were disappointed in her, that she didn't go in on Ariane. She didn't call Ariane coleslaw. She referred to Ariane as a mistress and not a side chick. I personally feel that Tasha K had a level of respect for Ariane in this video, in this interview, and that she was not here to bash the lady, which was a lot of Tasha K's fans were disappointed in that she did not bash Ariane in the interview at all. A matter of fact, she gave her respect. Like, she said that Ariane must have done something right to be able to capture the attention of a married man with a wife and 4 children, and to keep him coming back and to keep him interested for over 7 years. Now, in this interview, Ariane stated on multiple occasions that she tried to leave Martell alone over several years, that she tried to leave him alone. She tried to break away from Martell, but Martell would not allow her to do that. So we're going to get into the interview and we're going to talk about it. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell, and please come back for another video and leave in the comments what you think about the interview, what you think about, Tasha K's perspective on Ariane being able to keep Martell interested in her for several years, and him not being willing to leave her alone. So we're going to get into it, you guys.
I'm a smart girl. What attracted him to me, you would have to ask Martell, but I'm just Ariane. Like, I've always been a likable girl. I've always been the cream of the crop. That's been me all my life.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what it exactly was that attracted him to me, but, here we are.
So you guys...
A lot of people had a problem with Ariane's confidence in the video and in this interview, and they perceived it as being arrogant and disrespectful to Melody and her marriage to Martell. And I don't feel that way. I feel like that this lady is a lady. She's a woman, and she deserves to feel confident about herself and who she is. And if she feels like she has always been the cream of the crop, then that's her story, and she's entitled to that. And she must be the cream of the crop because a lot of women are bothered by her. I don't think that Ariane is money hungry. I don't think that Ariane is a clout chaser. I don't think that Ariane is greedy. If Ariane were all those things that people call her, Ariane would be working this whole social media thing differently than what she is, she would be capitalizing on every dime and dollar that she possibly could make. And believe me, she could make a lot of dollars and a lot of dimes and millions of dollars off of this thing, because you guys are interested, you're invested. Anything that she does or says, you will be there to watch her, even if you're not there for anything else but to drag her. You're still gonna be there, and that's gonna make her rich and wealthy. I personally feel like, and I've said it before and I'm gonna continue to say it, I personally feel like Ariane should capitalize on this situation. Why not? Does that make her money hungry and greedy because she capitalizes on something that can feed her family, take her lifestyle to the next level? No. It just means that she's smart. She said she's smart. I personally feel like Ariane could be smarter about this situation and capitalize on it to the best of her ability and to the fullest. You haters are going to add fuel to the fire no matter what. If she doesn't say anything, you're going to add fuel to the fire. If she just come on her Instagram and cook or clean or just talk, you're going to add fuel to the fire. So why should she not be on YouTube or another platform where she could turn that attention into money? So a lot of people feel like she's arrogant, she's disrespectful, and they just thought she made herself look bad. I don't think that. I think she did what she wanted to do as a grown woman. A lot of you people, no one could tell you what to do. So how is it that you get to tell this grown woman that's 31 years old what to do with her life?
At the car, you're talking. Of course, you're attracted to him. He's definitely attracted to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you guys were friends for a while.
We were friends for a while.
How long, per se, after that initial meeting at the cousin's house until it turned sexual?
8 or 9 months.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you guys were hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
No sex.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So Ariane stated that it was 9 months with her first meeting Martell and them becoming intimate in the relationship. It looks like to me from Tasha K's expression on her face like she didn't believe that. I don't know if I believe it either. I don't know if it was 9 months that they waited to have intercourse. But that's her story. And who are we to question it or judge it? However, I just kind of find it funny or unbelievable, because I think that Martell was thirsty and that he was looking for something. And the way that Martell went about meeting Ariane and moved in on the first time seeing her and telling her to meet him outside, it seems like to me Martell has done this before. This is an MO of his, and he considers himself to be a smooth talker. Ariane even said that Martell thought that she was going to go to a motel with him that night. So I don't know if Ariane was playing hard to get, or she was just taking it slow, or do she take it slow in general in relationships before she gets intimate with people. So she said she waited 8 to 9 months before she was intimate with Martell. And I know a lot of women that are judging Ariane and are calling her coleslaw and calling her this and that and a side chick. I know you guys don't wait that long in your personal relationships before you get intimate with people. Some of you guys meet men the same night and be with them. And like I said, this woman has stated that can count the number of men that she has slept with in her life. in her 31 years of living on one hand. So you could say what you want to say about Ariane. You could try to paint a picture of what you want to paint, a picture of Ariane however you want to, but that still doesn't change the fact that she carries herself with dignity and pride. Yes, she may have made some mistakes before, but how many of you have not made mistakes before, period? May not have been the same mistakes, but you've made mistakes before. So we're going to continue on with the interview. And y'all let me know in the comments bar below if you think that Ariane waited 8 to 9 months before she actually had sex with Martell Holt.
The night we met, Martell thought I was going to a hotel with him. I was like, what? No. Tasha, I'm 31 years old. I can still count on one hand how many men I've had sex with.
Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. The number you have reached has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you've reached this number in error, please hang up and try your call again. Doo-doo-doo. Just because Ariane looks like this, just because she's beautiful, just because she's confident, just because she's a bombshell, don't mean she is a hoe. It doesn't mean she's a home wrecker. Martell wanted to wreck his home. Martell went out seeking for someone to entertain him. Martell Holt even had his cousin helping him to meet another woman. Now, y'all want to talk about Ariane. Let's talk about this cousin that introduced Ariane and Martell together. Let's talk about relatives of family members that know that Martell was married and is introducing him to another woman. Let's talk about that woman that has to be a lowlife. Are y'all dragging the cousin of Martell Holt that introduced Ariane and gave Ariane number to Martell? Like, cause if it didn't have women like that didn't respect Melody and Martell's marriage, and she's related to Melody through marriage, and she didn't respect it, she helping her cousin get the hookup. And ain't nobody talking about her and dragging her. Martell was looking for an entanglement, and he had help in pursuing it. And yes, Ariane accommodated him, but she didn't make him do nothing he did. He was looking for it on his own. That's her story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. She's not a home wrecker. She didn't break up no happy home. A man like Martell can never be happy. He not happy with himself, and he can't be happy with nobody else. No matter if he gets everything he think he wants, he's still not going to be happy because he has greed.
So being that, you know, he thought you were going to a hotel with him, did it strike you like, okay, this man, you know, has probably done this before?
Yeah, but that's men though. But yeah.
You think that's men?
I think that's men.
You think that's all men?
I think that's most men. I'm not going to say all. I think that's most. Yeah, I think that's most.
Well, I mean, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think that's most men.
That you were a mistress to a very public and very married man. Your perspective would be much different because you haven't been on the side of wife yet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that you're You're going to be an excellent wife, being that you know both sides of the fence, and they ain't going to be able to tell you nothing that you ain't never heard before or seen before, you know? So,
see, this is what I'm talking about right here. Tasha K is the queen of shade. She is the queen of giving you a compliment and an insult at the same time, and have you receive it as a compliment. I believe this was kind of sort of a insult to Ariane and a compliment at the same time. She stated to Ariane that you're not a wife, you were a mistress, and you kind of would see it differently. But then she turns around and says, because you were a mistress and one day you will possibly be a wife, that no man will be able to run game on you because you will know both sides of the spectrum. And Ariane kind of just like smiled and took it with a grain of salt. But at the same time, this could have been perceived as an insult. Tasha K telling her that she was a mistress. And I'm just going to say this way. It's a lot of women that became wives that were mistresses before, and a mistress is a step above a side chick, because a side chick can never be nothing other than a side chick. A mistress, she got all the perks of, you know, being his mistress. She's not just spending sexual time with him. She has a relationship with him. She communicates with him, and he feels comfortable with her. They feel comfortable with each other. And Ariane was comfortable in her position with Martell, and she continued that relationship with him for several years. It was fulfilling to her. At times it wasn't fulfilling, and at times she wanted out, but for the most part, she was comfortable.
You have claimed that you were young. Do you feel like he took advantage or manipulated you, being that he's almost, I would say, 12, 13 years your senior?
Okay, he's 9 years older than me.
Okay.
9, almost 10.
Okay.
When you are that much older than somebody, I do feel that you can take advantage and manipulate situations. I was very green to a lot. When me and Martell met, I had just got out of a relationship with my child's father for 5 years in college.
Okay.
So I was very green to a lot. I'm just, me, Ariane, I just have a good heart. I'm just a good person.
A lot of people in Tasha K's comments had a problem with this comment that Ariane said that she is a good person and she just has a good heart. I totally 100% understand what Ariane was saying, that she was green, she was young, she was dumb, she was stupid. The relationship that she had been in previously with her daughter's father was the first boyfriend that she had ever had. So you could assume that Ariane did not have a lot of experience with men and that she was very gullible. And she just believed if a man is treating her nice, then he means well by her. And that doesn't always mean that. You know, men have a way of treating the other woman nice. They have a way of making the other woman feel that the wife is doing all of this wrong and that she's so much better than the wife and she's so much beautiful than the wife, and their relationship is so much better than the relationship that he has with his wife. I mean, that's what a cheater's job is. His job is to convince the other woman that she is better and that she's better for him and that she makes him feel better. That is his job. And Martell was very good at manipulating this woman and Melody at the same time. And if you don't think that Ariane was being manipulated, then how can you give credit to Melody for staying in a relationship with Martell for so long, even after knowing he was a cheater? That lets you know that even for Melody to stay in a relationship with Martell and to continue to take him back, that lets you know that Martell was a manipulator and he was manipulating Melody. Why is it that he could manipulate Melody and he can't manipulate Arionne? She was being manipulated too, you guys.
How long between the time that you met and, you know, you guys finally taking that next step, did you find out he was married?
I found out he was married within those 9 months, but our conversation kept me there, and I was wrong for continuing to deal with a married man.
So Ariane admits right here that she was wrong for dealing with a married man, continuing to deal with a married man after she found out that he was married. And to me, this signifies an apology to me, even though a lot of people said she would not apologize to Melody, and Tasha tried to get her to apologize on several occasions and she refused. To me, I still consider this an olive branch. I still consider this taking accountability for her actions. I still consider this remorse, because she said she was wrong for talking to a married man and she should not have continued to pursue that. So I consider that to be an olive branch, and I consider that to be her being a bigger woman, and she doesn't owe anybody anything. She doesn't have to apologize if she doesn't want to. It's affected her life. It just didn't impact Melody's life and Martell's life and the kids' life. It affected her life as well, and she paid and is paying for her mistakes. So she doesn't want to apologize to anyone. She doesn't have to. But I personally feel like that this is an apology.
Trying to walk away, get out of the situation, and he was not trying to leave her and not trying to leave me alone. And I'm like, okay, well, because I never asked him, I never pressured the issue, I never was like, leave her, until I realized that he was not trying to leave me alone. So it's my fault for continuing a relationship because...
well, you're not married.
Right. But now, okay, 20-year-old Ariane. Okay. Oh, he pursuing me. I ain't thinking, you know, whatever. 30-year-old Ariane, I just feel like it's a fine line that us as Black women should have respect for one another. Just period. I do feel like I'm not married. I do feel like I did not ruin their marriage. I was not inside of their household. But at the end of the day, I still feel like just respect for women, period. If you're in a situation, if she's in a situation with somebody, just leave it alone. But that came with, you know, time. Like, you know, all that I've been through, now I can say that.
Of course, there was always some sort of pull and tug, because you said, you know, he's married, but he doesn't want to leave you alone. Was there ever a time when you tried to, like, you know, back up, or was it just something you just kind of let it?
Of course.
You just let it.
Of course. It's been times with me and Martell. One time we went 5 months without talking. Another time, you probably like, whatever. Another time we went 3 months without talking. But it was times we went without talking. Okay. It was times I backed off.
So,
because 10 minutes prior to, Martell was calling me. I was out on a date. I was moving forward. I wasn't going to be talking to Martell no more. He knew that.
Okay, you guys, there you have it. As you can see, Arionne Curry tried to leave Martell Holt alone on several occasions. He wasn't having it. Martell said that he wasn't gonna leave either one of the women alone, that he wasn't gonna make a decision. Martell was greedy, and even when Arionne Curry tried to leave him alone, he would not allow her to leave him alone because he didn't want want to see her move on with another relationship. So Martell Holt wanted his cake and wanted to eat it too. He was willing to destroy his marriage, his relationship, and his business behind having an affair with another woman. And that's what it was worth to him. Also, everybody wants to put a lot of the blame on Ariane, but I personally feel like Melody, or the married woman, has a lot to blame in this because they put up with it. Like, if you don't want to be in a relationship with your husband cheating on you, you're gonna leave. You're gonna stop the bull crap. And he don't have no control over you staying there. But you have control over you staying there. So Melody tolerated it. Melody put up with it. Melody knew he was cheating. Whether she accepted him saying that he was going to stop and he never stopped. I mean, if once you became aware of it, you knew his MO, you knew his behavior. And if you seen him still doing the same things, then that would lead you to believe that he's still cheating. So at some point, Melody, Martell have to take accountability for the breakdown of their relationship. Stop using Ariane as a scapegoat. Again, if it wasn't Ariane, it was going to be somebody else. She probably wasn't the first, probably won't be the last. And me personally, after Martell called me a peasant, I would have never had anything to do with him again. Never. But Ariane showed the world how much of a peasant that Martell felt like she was, because he went on to have a child with someone that he deemed to be a peasant. And he couldn't leave her alone and wouldn't leave her alone and allowed the relationship with her to destroy his relationship with his wife, his children, and his business. So she couldn't be too much of a peasant. So anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comments bar below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell, hit always, and be sure to come back for another video. And remember, tasty talks, and crab walks. Thanks for watching, Nutty Buddies. Talk to you guys later.